Hi, Amos here. I received a package in the mail. Actually, it was a little plastic bag with a pair of IEMs and a note in it. And the note said, "Please burn in with orchestra music for 100 plus hours." And I actually didn't know who the note was from because it wasn't signed, but it turned out to be a guy I know called Charles. And you may know him as the maker of Shozy and Shozy products. And he sent me a pair of the latest Zero IEMs. Now, I've already had a pair, but he sent me a box pair so I could do a full unboxing video as well. So let's open them up. They turned out to be quite interesting, and for a number of reasons. And, I stuck them in my ears, and I thought these sound pretty good. And I thought, well, how much is he charging for them? Don't tell me he's going to say, there was nothing really wrong with them. There was no problems with harshness in the treble, or no problems with the bass. And mid-range was quite nice too. And I thought, these sound like they're worth probably a few $100. And I thought, don't tell me he's going to say he's going to charge $50 for these. And well, yeah, it was dead on right. It was only $50. But it's a good thing I cut the wrap off. It's pretty hard to see with the reflection of the light. But they've got a fairly flat frequency response, which you can see there. If we draw a line across there, so it's the 100 decibel, 90 decibel mark. They're fairly flat, about not much more than about 5 decibels of variance through the range. Although in experience, it sounds like once I've burned them in, they sound a bit more bassy than that. It has a Litz cable, which I didn't actually know before, but they have a rosewood body, so they're actually pretty classy for $50. And he made quite a bit of effort to get the sound good. So now, do we chop a label or do these pop open? They have a seal on top of the barcode, and we can open up the bottom without having to cut anything more, which is good. So I've actually only ever had the original pair, a couple of original pairs without any accessories, so I actually know what the accessories are. And this is really, very much a live unboxing for me, not knowing exactly what I'm going to find. Let's just turn it down so we can see. There's the frequency response graph again, and a user manual, which is all of 2 pages about do not pull the cord when attaching, do not twist the cord, blah 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 blah, all that kind of thing, and keep things clean for hygiene. Do not listen too loud, and the usual kind of thing, and it's the usual guidance. So, well, this is the case. Fairly basic case, it looks like, which is not bad at all. And, well, yeah, that's pretty much what you get, I guess. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And we have, all I had was the tips. Now, the IEMs themselves, if we have a look, and you can see, if we just have a zoom in, if we zoom in a bit, you can see they have the rosewood on them. There we go, 0 nicely carved in there. And it's quite nice. They're quite nice looking rosewood plug on there. Rosewood body, and the cable just comes out. The cable is very rubbery, probably a bit microphonic, so that's probably the only downside. But then you remember, of course, they're $50, so no complaints really there. The tips are the kind of snap-on type, which I've decided I prefer. And because you can roll, it's much easier to roll tips if you just can snap them on and off. So for convenience, and the fact that there are some interesting tips available which can fit a lot of IEMs then. The interesting thing was at the bottom of these have got a little funky port here. And this is apparently sonically very important to the design. If I hold it over my finger, you can see clearly there's a cutout. That's apparently quite important. And they're a single driver as far as I know, a single small dynamic. I'll have to double check on that. Anyway, and they have a look at the neat chin slider there. That's a little better than the original pair I had. So yeah, that's it. That's all there is to them. Very simple. And you just have a set of tips in there. Nothing else. No other accessories. $50, and they sound pretty good. So as IEMs go, the manufacturer of the drivers apparently recommended that they are given 100 hours of burn-in using classical music, pretty much. And the basses, they're fairly flat sounding until that burn-in is done, and then they sort of become a bit bass monstery, I found, plugging them into, a good DAP. The tips as I said, they use, you know, snap-on tips. I tried rolling other tips, but it seems to mess up the sound a lot. I just found the stock tips to be best in the end, even though I like my JVC spiral dots and things like the ALO Audio Andromedas. I ended up just leaving them as they are, and they were fine. I think the only troublesome thing with these is that the cable is super rubbery, super tangly, and microphonic. But where I really like using them is with music, which Verve Remixed is a good example. They take old classic blues and what have you, tunes, like Nina Simone and whatever, and they're remixed by DJs. And that stuff, they were mastered without enough bass. So these end up having a fair bit of bass, and I like using these for those. The reason actually I have another pair here and not the pairs I was originally given is because two reasons. One, for I could unbox them properly, and the second reason is that I actually gave away both pairs I had. One to someone in the industry, and the other one pair to a teenager who I thought deserved a good pair of IEMs. Though whether now he can ignore his mother. Anyway, we had a bit of a joke about that. But yeah, after that, really, there's no trouble with them. The treble is fine. The treble is really nice. There's no distortion, there's no harshness that you often get in cheap IEMs. Mid-range is pretty nice. The bass is pretty tight, or considering that there's a fair bit of it. Really, no complaints on my part from them. They sound pretty good. I mean, they've given me the feeling that now if Charles can do a $50 pair of IEMs that sound this good, there is no excuse for anyone else to do crappy IEMs anymore. $50, it nails it. And they look classy, and again, the only downside is this super tangly cable. So, yes, recommendation there. If you're just after a pair of $50 IEMs to throw in your bag, and you don't mind untangling awfully rubbery cable, or you like a nice, classy looking gift for someone and $50 is the go, yeah, for sure. These are really cool. So again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you want to see more. And if you liked it, give it a thumbs up.